Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the special meeting regarding the insurance for the year 22-23. Mabel, do you have proof of notice of the meeting?
Yes, sir.
When was it sent? Notice was sent April 1st. Is required 10 days prior to this meeting. Will you do roll call?
Yes, sir. Acadia,
Absent.
absent. Acadia 2,
Absent.
Andover A,
Present by proxy.
Andover B,
Present by proxy.
Andover C,
Present by proxy.
yeah, I did not call your name, Dan. It means you're here. Andover C. Yeah, present by proxy, he said. Andover E, absent. Andover F,
Present by proxy.
Andover H,
Present by proxy.
Andover I, absent. Bedford A, absent. Bedford B, absent. Bedford C, absent. Bedford D, absent. Bedford F,
Present by proxy.
Bedford G, absent. Bedford H, absent. Bedford J, absent. Brookfield,
Present by proxy.
Cambridge A,
Present by proxy.
Cambridge B, absent. Cambridge E, absent. Cambridge F, absent. Cambridge H, absent. Cambridge I, absent. Cambridge J, absent. Cambridge K,
Present by proxy.
Cambridge L, absent. Cambridge M,
Present by proxy.
Canton Court D, absent. Dorchester A,
Present by proxy.
Dorchester B,
Present by proxy.
Dorchester D, absent. Edinburgh, absent. Fairborn, absent. Fairfield A,
Present by proxy.
Fairfield B,
Present by proxy.
Fairfield C,
Present by proxy.
Fairfield D,
Present by proxy.
Fairfield F, absent. Fairfield G, ma'am, last name? You need to sit on the table on Fairfield on the right side.
What's the last name?
Did you came in? No, ma'am.
No, we don't.
We don't have your proxy either. So Fairfield. No, it's a different person. It's just the one who turned in the proxy.
We don't have anything.
We don't have anything. So again, last name? paper.
That was the one for next week,
That's for next week.
Friday.
I signed in. I mean, I told you I was here when I came in, and then I signed the, yeah, I just did it. I did it with my friend. She came from another district. She came from Highgate.
Oh, this is the only thing I have right now.
Well, give me whatever I have to sign, because, but I did it
It's
already.
okay. Can you just sit on the floor and last name Greco?
Greco Fairfield G.
Thank you. Fairfield H,
Present by proxy.
Gloucester A,
Present by proxy.
Gloucester B, absent. Gloucester C, absent. Gloucester E,
Present by proxy.
Gloucester G, absent. Gloucester H, absent. Gloucester K,
Present by proxy.
Gloucester L,
Present by proxy.
Gloucester M,
Present by proxy.
Gloucester N,
Present by proxy.
Highgate A, absent. Highgate C,
Present by proxy.
Highgate E, absent. Highgate F,
Present by proxy.
Highgate 2, absent. Highgate 3, absent. Highgate 4,
Present by proxy.
Huntington or Huntington, absent. Inverness,
Present by proxy.
Jameson,
Present by proxy.
Knowles 1, absent. Knowles 3,
Present by proxy.
Lancaster 1, absent. Lancaster 2,
Present by proxy.
Lancaster 3,
Present by proxy.
Lancaster 4, absent. Manchester 1, absent. Manchester 3, absent. Manchester 4, absent. Nantucket 3, absent. Nantucket 5, absent. Quail Pass, absent. Radisson 1, absent. Radisson 2,
Present by proxy.
Richmond.
Present by proxy.
Somerset, absent. Southampton 2,
Present by proxy.
Tremont 2,
Present by proxy.
Yorkshire.
Present by proxy.
Mr. President, you have a quorum of 63.4% with 3,504 units with 70 associations.
Then I will call the meeting to order at 9:43 a.m. We all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We have one individual who signed up for open forum, and I would ask, do you want to have that comment, discussion, question answered during the insurance presentation, or do you want to answer it now? It's from Knowles, too. It's up to you. You can ask it now, or you can ask it during his presentation. Okay. Having no unfinished business, we will proceed to the new business, and I'll call on Janice Kincaid, who is the honorary chairman until April 15th, who has run the insurance committee for the presentation and policies and pricings for the 22-23 year. See if it's on.
Good morning. I first would like to thank everyone for all of their help, especially my committee in getting this package together. My insurance committee that has worked diligently along with USI are sitting over here at the table. I have Trina Schwartz, if you'd stand up, Trina, and Marion Kelso, and absent is Bill Robb, and Ray Hunsacker, who's on the board now, so he's at the board table, and myself as the chair. I'm definitely going to miss working with this group. They were very knowledgeable and dedicated to working on this insurance, and it's going to be hard to not work with them again. At this time, I'd like to introduce Adam Lopatin from USI, and he is going to present to you our recommendation to the board. And Brian, his assistant, is sitting there at the table with us. He also has been working very closely. And Keith Wilkins was our other member.
Mabel, could you put the spreadsheet up, please? Troy. Good morning. I think most of you all know me, but my name is Adam Lopatin. I run the condo division for USI Insurance Services. We are your insurance professional. The overall insurance program does renew on April 15th, 2022. As Janice said, her team, along with USI, has been working diligently for the last 4 months on obtaining bids, going back between the carriers and us to negotiate the best terms and conditions available in the marketplace as a bulk purchase. The marketplace is a disaster right now. On average, good accounts with no losses are going up anywhere between 25 and 50%, and in some instances, 100 and 300%. So based on the marketplace, I feel very fortunate to be able to present you guys with a budget that is actually a program that is less than budget. So if you look at the top, the largest item or cost of our overall premium is the property insurance. The property carrier is Heritage, and we are recommending Heritage be the property carrier at renewal. They are an admitted carrier in the state of Florida, protected by the Florida Insurance Guarantee Act. The premium did increase about 18% year over year. All the other coverages remained exactly the same. And the TIV, or total insured value, replacement cost, was increased by 2%. So if you look at last year, we negotiated a property program at roughly $816 million of coverage. This year, it was $832 million of coverage. So your values were increased 2%, and the premium went up 18%. So technically, the rate actually went up 16%. Next year, we will be due for an appraisal, and that's something that the new insurance committee and Federation is going to have to work on, because that's definitely going to affect our costs, because based on what we're seeing in construction costs, typically those appraisals are coming in at about 15 to 20% higher than they were 3 years ago. So even if the marketplace returns to being robust and soft, If we increase our values 20% and the rate stays the same, the premium will go up 20%. So that's something that we're going to have to work on diligently as far as budgeting for next year. But overall, the property rate was 50 cents, which is extremely competitive. And that was, if you look at other similar buildings, probably paying 75 to $1 rate. So you're paying about half of what if you were in a condo right here and not buying this in a bulk purchase. Moving down is the general liability coverage. Aspen was our current carrier. We are moving that to Trisura. Same coverages, same conditions. The premium did increase due to market conditions. And we do have a $1,000 deductible on that policy. Going down quickly is the crime coverage, which is required by statute. That premium remained the same. The directors and officers coverage, again, this year, everybody is going to have their own D&O policy. It's no longer with a shared program. You do have forms in front of you that make sure they are signed and returned to Ma Bell prior to us leaving. That premium went up due to market conditions as well. If you look at the umbrella, that premium did go up significantly due to market conditions and claims activity. The workers' comp went down. The cyber went up slightly. The cyber market, as you can imagine, is becoming increasingly difficult to negotiate. I'll get your question as soon. I'll be done in 1 minute. Or you want to answer it now? All right, what's the question?
It would be great for the body to know that.
The statute or what it covers?
Yeah, just what it covers.
Okay, sure. Oh, no problem. Troy, can you go back up to the top, please? Okay, so property insurance covers all losses for property, excluding flood insurance, and then standard exclusions, nuclear, et cetera. So if you have a fire, a hurricane, water damage, that would be the property coverage. You can look at the deductible is a $5,000 deductible for all perils except for sinkhole. It's a 3% per building sinkhole, and for hurricane, it's a 5% deductible per building for hurricane. It does include ordinance of law. It includes wind-driven rain, sewer backup, mold, equipment breakdown. The carports are covered. And I think there was a question, I just want to clarify this. Right now, the way the contract is negotiated now, regardless of how old your roofs are, if your roof is damaged, you're going to get a brand new roof. It's not actual cash value, it's replacement cost. Most carriers, for buildings that have roofs over 15 years old, they're either not quoting it or they're giving you ACV versus replacement cost, which would be cost new less depreciation, which means if you have older roofs, basically have no coverage. Under this current contract, this year, it is replacement cost. Okay. Under liability, that covers bodily injury and property damage. So basically slip and falls. Someone slips and falls, they get injured, they sue the association, or if your association or the federation has done third-party property damage. Say there's a roof in the leak. The roof leaks, they call Keith, it doesn't get fixed, or roof leaks again, it keeps leaking, and then it damages your property. You sue the association, that would be third-party property damage. That would be general liability. That covers $1 million per occurrence, $2 million per policy period, and then the umbrella would sit on top of that. Go down a little bit, please. Then the crime coverage, that is required by statute, 718. You have $20 million of coverage, and that covers for theft. Anybody steals cash from your association or from the federation, and the management company is also named insured as well. The directors and officers covers directors and officers in case they do something wrong. Everybody has their own, every association has their own D&O policy, $1 million limit. Defense costs are outside that limit, so they do not erode that limit, and then the umbrella would sit on top of that as well. Then you have a $25 million umbrella. That $25 million sits on top of your general liability. Your directors and officers and your hired and non-owned auto and your work comp provides an additional $25 million of coverage. Then you have your, if any, workers' comp policy. That's a separate policy for each association. Cyber covers for if the federation should get hacked in some way and someone sues because their identity was stolen or something like that. And that's where you come up with the currently you're paying $4,081,821.17. The renewal premium or program was negotiated is $4,823,985.58. When we budgeted in August of last year with the insurance committee and the federation, we budgeted $4,853,582.10, which leaves us about $30,000 under budget with no significant changes in the program at all.
Diane, just to add, and Adam didn't mention it, under property and casualty for all other peril deductibles, there is a $5,000 deductible. However, the Federation carries an insurance deductible fund, and the Federation pays $4,500 of that $5,000 deductible. So for an association, your out-of-pocket would be $500 of that $5,000 deductible if it gets to that degree. So that is one of the things the Federation has. Last year it was $2,500, Adam, and it went.
Yes, last year it was 2 years ago.
2 years ago it was $2,500, of which we paid $2,000. Now that it's gone back to $5,000, the Federation, upon the request of a claim or submission of a claim, pays the first $4,500 of that deductible.
Thanks, Jack. One other thing I do want to point out is there are, on the property coverage, every association has a separate policy. Your policy is in your association's name. It's not one policy. Same with the directors and officers and the if any workers' comp policy. Those three policies are not, everybody's not grouped into one policy. Those are individual policies for each association.
Okay, Adam, you have a question from Knowles too.
Yes. Oh, we'll go, and then we'll,
Go ahead.
go ahead.
I have a question. In the directors and officers carriers, the premiums, and the umbrella carriers, the premiums, I know we have the same limited deductibles, but it went up by $17,000 and $73,000. And my question is did that take an effect because of the lawsuits?
So the majority of the increase is not due to the lawsuit, but if you look at the umbrella, if you go down there, where you see the umbrella went from 130, 745 to 203.
Yes.
Again, some of that increase is due to the lawsuit.
Yes, sir. So if the lawsuit was resolved, would it be a better premium?
So if the lawsuit was resolved, then that premium increase would have been less. That's correct.
Can we work on that, please, on the lawsuits? How can we resolve this?
That would not be for me to answer.
No? I'm sorry, I don't know who I'm asking. Thank you.
There are, Adam would say 3. I would say there are 2 claims. Basically, there are 3 claims that are under D&O. The difference is that Travelers Insurance separated the master lawsuit into 2 claims, one against the Federation and one against First Service. As far as getting that resolved, I know that it is in litigation, and the attorneys are currently handling that particular lawsuit and those 2 claims. We would love the master to drop the lawsuit, at least against the Federation, but that is up to the master to determine if they want to drop that lawsuit. The other lawsuit is due to the fiduciary responsibility of the board. There is a lawsuit which is online, which is against 5 previous board members when the $9 million additional loan was taken out. That is currently in litigation. And there's not much more the board can say about that without getting involved in attorney-client privilege or without divulging work product.
I just want to make sure that the residents were aware of the increase because of that. That's all.
Well, when they did the increase, and I'll ask Adam this, we were required to notify the umbrella carrier of the master lawsuit because of the amount of claim. He notified the umbrella carrier of the 3 claims, the 2 from the master, which were separated by travelers, and the federation. And Adam, if I am wrong, from conversations I've had with you, the only questions the umbrella carrier had was related to the master lawsuit, not to the federation lawsuit.
Yeah, but correct. The umbrella was a difficult, everything was difficult this year, obviously, due to the market, but the umbrella was extremely difficult because travelers were put on notice of the claims and also of the most of the questions was based on the master versus the federation because of the large demand, and that demand potentially piercing the umbrella.
We have no control over the market, but we do have control how people get along. And you represent us, the residents, not each other. Thank you.
In answer to your question, the federation versus the federation has no dollar amount within its claim. If you read the lawsuit, it says the lawsuit is in excess of $30,000. That $30,000 determines the venue in which it operates. However, the master filed a claim which doesn't include damages in the amount of $1,968,000 against First Service and the Federation. That has a major impact, along with their legal fees, because their legal fees at that time were included. They have pierced the $2 million value of the D&O policy. We can't do anything about it. We have provided information as requested from their particular attorneys. We are waiting to see where it goes. I can tell you that a mediation is scheduled for June 8th between the parties.
He's good. Any questions?
I'm upset.
I think he's good. Any other questions before I kind of dive into a few more topics, quick topics? All right, I just read in the Advisen, which is the insurance newspaper I read every morning, and the Colorado State University has reported that this hurricane season will be active, and at least 4 major hurricanes with winds up to 178 miles an hour are predicted. So please, I know Mr. Bardell and his group, along with Brian and the committee, are working really hard to make sure we're prepared if we do get struck. Just make sure you guys are following all the things that they're passing out and be prepared, because they are predicting an active hurricane season. And the last part is I just want to thank the committee, Janice, led by Janice. I love working with her, and appreciate everything she's done for the community and a great partner of ours. And we're sorry to see her go, but I know she's looking forward to spending more time with her family. So good luck with that. And we look forward to working with a new insurance committee. And that's it, President.
Adam, would you ask that forms be signed before?
Yes.
Would you explain to the presidents or those in attendance what the forms are for and what you're looking for?
Yeah, so after we get done here, the president's going to sign some forms to bind coverage, because we have to bind coverage, but there are also forms. And you all had to sign these forms last year as well, because everybody had every association has their own D&O policy. So with that, you have to basically sign a supplemental application on it. And it basically has 7 questions, and they're inquiring about this 7 different things. Has any legal, you can read them, and we need this signed because this is a warrant to the policy, okay? So make sure you sign this before you leave, and if you have any questions, I'm gonna wait around, I'll be here, because Jack has to sign some stuff, but if you have any questions, let me know. But we need these by Wednesday in order to make sure there's no gap in coverage. Yes? Yes, once they're signed, we will scan them and send them to Ma Bell, and she can distribute them to every president. And then one other thing that Brian will be getting out is a new hurricane update deductible. And I know if everybody has questions about that. And once we get that done, because the deductible is going to increase a little bit, because we increase the values by 2%, so 5% of the building value is going to be up by 2%. So we'll get that out prior to hurricane season, everybody, so everybody will know what the maximum loss assessment would be in case we get hit by a catastrophic storm. Yes? Yeah, Ma Bell is going to work on that and get him to sign it.
Adam, correct me if I'm wrong. When you come to the property carrier, which is based upon the individual association's value, you provide the associations with their total value, plus you will also provide the association's individual building value, so the residents are able, under their own HO6 or homeowner's policy, can increase their capability of paying any of that 5% for that particular building. Am I correct?
Yes, that's correct.
So each association for the new presidents get their own property and casualty value policy. And when you receive that, you'll also receive the value of each building, so residents will know exactly when they speak to their insurance agent of what limit they may want for liability. Correct me if I'm wrong, Adam, last year, the value of that 5% per individual homeowner, if the buildings were totally destroyed, was somewhere in the $8,000 to $10,000 range,
Correct.
which can be covered under the HO6 policy.
Correct. It can be covered under the HO6 policy under loss assessment coverage. If you've been to one of our seminars, unit owner seminars, we go through that. We're going to continue to have more unit owner seminars, and we encourage as many of your residents to attend as possible so they'd understand how that loss assessment works and how you can pass on that expense if your HO6 carrier will agree to do it for minimal cost. Yes. If you do you live in a condo or a town or a,
We live in our own association. In Richmond is HOA, not a COA. So we.
yeah, if you have an HOA, then you
Right.
would need it. That would not be a HO6 policy. That's correct.
Okay, but the HO3 should cover that in the insurance that we have, correct?
If you don't live in a condo and you live in a homeowners association, then you buy individual policy that covers your whole
Okay.
entire home.
Okay. So we're not covered under any of this if we have our own
You are
policy?
covered under this under your D&O, your liability. You just wouldn't have coverage under the property.
Okay, I see that, okay. Thank you.
Yep. Now you have a question. Yes, sir.
Wait a minute, Dan.
Stand
Can we
by.
get you a mic?
The 29,000 plus, will that reduce the monthly condo fees, or where will that money go?
So his question was the 29,000, where is that money going? Is that going to reduce their monthly fees, or is that going, where is that going?
As it's broken down by association, Dan, it goes into, because this is already budgeted, it was budgeted last November and approved by your boards, it would become excess of cash within your individual associations' funds. Same thing with the landscape that came in under budget, it goes into your association funds. Any other questions? Seeing no other questions, entertain a motion to approve the insurance policies and pricing effective April 15th, 2022 through. Thank you, Dan. Second? Jim Allen. Any other discussion on the motion? Because it is a $4,853,000 liability to the associations in the Federation, I will ask you to take roll.
Andover A,
Yes. By proxy.
Andover B,
Yes, by proxy.
Andover C,
Yes, by proxy.
Andover D, Andover F,
Yes, by proxy.
Andover G. Yes or no? Thank you. Thank you. Andover H,
Yes, by proxy.
Bedford E, Bedford F,
Yes, by proxy.
Brookfield,
Yes, by proxy.
Cambridge A,
Yes, by proxy.
Cambridge C, Cambridge K,
Yes, by proxy.
Cambridge M,
Yes, by proxy.
Corinth, Devonshire, Dorchester A,
Yes, by proxy.
Dorchester B,
Yes, by proxy.
Dorchester C, Dorchester C. Thank you. Fairfield A,
Yes, by proxy.
Fairfield B,
Yes, by proxy.
Fairfield C,
Yes, by proxy.
Fairfield D,
Yes, by proxy.
Fairfield E, Fairfield G, Fairfield H,
Yes, by proxy.
Gloucester A,
Yes, by proxy.
Gloucester D, Gloucester E,
Yes, by proxy.
Gloucester F, Gloucester J, Gloucester K,
No, by proxy.
Gloucester L,
Yes, by proxy.
Gloucester M,
Yes, by proxy.
Gloucester N,
Yes, by proxy.
Gloucester P, Grantham, Highgate B, Highgate C,
Yes, by proxy.
Highgate D. You said yes? Sorry. Highgate F,
Yes, by proxy.
Highgate 4,
Yes, by proxy.
Idlewood, Inverness,
Yes, by proxy.
Jameson,
Yes, by proxy.
Kensington, Knowles 2, Knowles 3,
Yes, by proxy.
Lancaster 2,
Yes, by proxy.
Lancaster 3,
Yes, by proxy.
Lyndhurst, Manchester 2, Maplewood, Nantucket 1, oh, that way. Nantucket 2, Nantucket 4, Oakley Green, Oxford 1, Oxford 2, Portsmouth, Princeton, Radisson 2,
Yes, by proxy.
Richmond,
Yes, by proxy.
Southampton 1. There you go.
Thank you, Diane.
Southampton 2,
Yes, by proxy.
Tremont 1, Tremont 2.
And we have a proxy too.
Yes, by proxy.
Yes, by proxy.
Villeroy, Worlington, Yorkshire.
Yes, by proxy.
Let me just double check. Mr. President, we have 69 association voted yes with 99.3% with 3,480 units, and one association voted no with 0.7% with 24 units. For no? 24.
Thank you. So I know that the Federation Board and specifically Adam and Brian can breathe a sigh of relief that the motion has passed, and you will have 1,000,000 pages for me to sign for all these policies, I know. I would like to add to Diane Daniels' compliments to the Insurance Committee. I know it has been a difficult year in negotiating these. I mean, we all know insurance policies are going up. And in November, I appreciate the work that Adam and the Insurance Committee and Keith Wilking did in budgeting what we presumed the insurance policies would cost us. And out of $4,853,000 policy, to be able to bring it in $30,000 and not over, I really appreciate the work, and I know that you had a lot of struggles with the different carriers and getting policies specifically. Randy Jones at Heritage is still healing his wounds that you inflicted on him in your negotiations. So thank you very much, Adam, for all your hard work, and to Brian, I really appreciate it. With that, I have two announcements to make. One is I would like to thank Ray Hunsaker, who is our treasurer, for filling in for Susan Martucci as secretary for this meeting, in working with Ma Bell for the attendance at the meeting. So Ray, thank you very much. I appreciate you volunteering to do that particular task today, so thank you very much. The other announcement I unfortunately have to make is that over the weekend, the Federation Board received the resignation of the District 6 director, which was Barbara Sarvey. This week, we will be sending out to the residents of District 6 request for a letter of intent. After those letter intents are received, interviews will be conducted by the Standing Elections Committee, and we'll make a recommendation to the board at our May meeting, as by bylaws that position has to be filled at our next board meeting, and that term will extend to the end of March of next year, which is Barbara's term for District 6. And I wish Barbara the best of health in the issues which she has, both medical and personal. And she did receive a letter from the board thanking her for her work. She will be missed on the board. So if you see her, give her thanks of gratitude for the service which she provided over the last 13, 14 months. It's much appreciated. With that, are there any other announcements?
I do have one extra document I didn't realize from Heritage that needs to be signed by the representatives here, so I'm going to split it up alphabetically, and if you guys could come up and sign up before you leave, would be great. Sorry about that.
Yes, Susan. Can you take her mic? Wait a minute, Susan, because Susan, if you wait one moment till Ray brings you a mic.
Okay. Just want to know the number of proxies that voted yes that are not here or people are not present. What is the total of number of the proxy votes?
I have to go back all the way because right now I have the entire combined roll call. So I have to go back to my office and calculate it separately.
Okay. It'd be interesting to know how many people really are here to vote and those that send in proxies and don't hear all this presentation.
A while ago, before the roll call, Mr. Ray, if you remember, only 22 to 24%. Remember, before I started.
22% is the...
That submitted the proxy.
Okay, thank you.
And how many associations?
30 something, 20, 29 something. So I can count it right now, Miss Susan, the proxy.
We could let you know on Friday.
On Friday, okay. Or I can, as soon as I'm done here.
Unfortunately, yes, we do have another membership meeting this coming Friday at 9:30 in the theater. The only item of business that we are aware of was the approval of these minutes. If Mabel can get them done in the previous month's minutes. We cannot cancel the meeting without a vote of the membership the month prior to the meeting, so we are unable to cancel that Friday meeting, although we'd really like to cancel it. Any other good welfare comments? With that, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Thank you, Dan. Second. Gentleman in the back.
Before you leave, make sure you come up here and sign this last document, please. It's for the property carrier Heritage.
All in favor of the motion? Aye. Opposed? The meeting is adjourned.